They should not have a dunk contest. I think they should just let them hit uncontested threes and then
celebrate.
And then you get judged on the celebration. Would that be your celebration?
I mean, the Knicks were doing a part of that for this series.
Golly!
You just hit a super clutch playoff buzzer beater. You did it against a hated rival in front of a hostile crowd and a national TV audience, completing one of the most exciting rallies in NBA history. This is the kind of moment you dreamed about as a kid. What do? Players throughout history have gone every which way in celebrating these moments. Tyrese Haliburton did this. This episode is presented by Honda. The all-new CR-V Trailsport Hybrid is built to explore. So,
oh, brother.
Yeah. I mean, first of all,
do you want to get it
I feel
out
like
of the way?
the ethical disclosure here
yeah.
is that I am a very big Knicks fan. This was probably one of the worst moments of my life as a Knicks fan. Ryan was with me.
I
when
didn't
we
say, at
watched
least
this
you were
game.
surrounded
Sitting
by
right
loved
next to you.
ones.
Yeah. I gotta say, you handled it pretty well.
Thank you. I am going to try to separate that side of myself from this, but I feel like it is the right thing to do to disclose that I was very upset when I saw this on TV. But I do think this is worth talking about because, like, there is a lot of lore and context.
There's layers to this
to
one.
understand this moment.
Yeah.
So I guess layer number one is this is game one of the Eastern Conference Finals, that determined who in the Eastern Conference went to the NBA Finals. One thing I didn't do is go back and get the exact data of how many points and how many minutes it was because it was a lot in a few.
Yeah.
Tyrese Haliburton hit a buzzer-beating jumper, which bounced off the rim, shot up what felt like 75 feet in the air, and then dropped into the basket to tie the game and send it to overtime.
Some Air Bud shit.
Yeah. And after that, he did this. Now, the most important layer of context is that Reggie Miller, for the same team, the Pacers, against the same team, the Knicks, in the same building, Madison Square Garden, helped the Pacers do a really big comeback, and he looked directly at Spike Lee sitting courtside and wrapped his hands around his neck and pretended to choke.
Right.
Two individuals who, 30 years later?
Were there. Reggie Miller was calling the game. Spike Lee was courtside.
Spike actually was not there for this.
Spike wasn't there?
No.
I didn't know that.
So do you want to keep
go
going?
ahead.
Okay.
Tell me about Spike.
So they had Spike and Reggie on Inside the NBA, I think for game 5 or 6.
Mhm.
And Spike was talking about how Haliburton was looking for him, but he was in Cannes for the film festival. So instead, he locked eyes on Reggie Miller, which is why Reggie gave him the finger point. I see you.
Well,
I see you, young man. But he was very much looking for Spike, though.
Yeah. So this is Tyrese Haliburton, 30 plus years after the fact, mimicking a legendary Reggie Miller celebration. Now, the next layer of this is Tyrese didn't know it at the time, but he had hit a game-tying shot, not a game-winning shot. The game went to overtime. The Pacers did indeed win in overtime. And then the Pacers did indeed win the series. But I think that's my first thing here is and I think I said this to you right after the shot went in and we realized it was going to OT.
Right.
Had the Pacers lost that game, which was very much, it didn't feel like it was going to happen and it didn't happen, but it was on the table. This goes down as one of the most humiliating moments in NBA history.
100%.
For Tyrese Haliburton.
Yeah.
Had the Pacers even lost the series, which they didn't, this goes down as one of the most humiliating, this would have gotten photoshopped, you do the math, into a million different things that would have been embarrassing for the Pacers.
Because again, we were watching it together. You immediately added that to the stack of reasons why you wanted the Knicks. Like that, I think, became reason number one for why you wanted the Knicks to win.
This would become so fucking
Even after
funny.
they lost game 1, you were like, I just want them to win the series almost because of this entirely.
And Tyrese Haliburton, interviewed immediately after the game, was like, if I had known that my foot was on the line and my shot that looked like a 3-pointer was actually a 2-pointer, if I had known, I would not have done
I would have kept that in the pocket.
Sure.
For sure.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. So
not to question Tyrese's character.
No.
But I want to give some credit to doing something that cool immediately in the moment.
All right. So let's push that. Is this cool? And I'm going to try to not insert my Knicks fandom into this. Is it cool to perform a celebration that is referential, that was clearly premeditated? Like he clearly thought about it beforehand.
You were like, at some point in this series, I'm going to do this when it
or even, when the Pacers were in the middle of this comeback, he was like, damn, if I hit a game winner, I'm doing the Reggie choke thing.
Boy.
Given the circumstances, my short answer is yes. The circumstances being everything you just laid out. Like the beats all lining up. He thought he hit a 3-pointer to win the game in regulation.
Mm-hmm.
Take that for, as a fact within
At this moment, he believes he just won the game.
I think that lines up and it's very cool. If it was like a 10-point win in regulation and then he apes Reggie Miller's choke, celebration, mockery, whatever, no, that's not cool. But like, he's been focused, the team's been focused on like climb back to get out of a massive hole.
Mm-hmm.
And then he does it on a miraculous bounce of a shot. I think the thing that I find cool about it, Will, not a professional athlete, being able to, in that moment, recognize I am going to flip from being incredible at my craft to I'm going to gloat, I think is cool, and will recognize that maybe that just comes from a lack of self-confidence.
Does it matter that it back rimmed to go in? Does it matter that he missed the shot into the basket? when you're equating the coolness.
So you're saying if it was just nothing but net, it would have been.
I'm not saying
deserved.
anything. I'm asking a perfectly neutral question. Does it matter that he fucking bricked the shot and it went in?
I think it's not cool that it's game one. Don't you want to wait until later in the series? Like game one is game one.
All right, let me play.
Like that. Don't get me wrong. The comeback was incredible. The final shot, amazing.
Yeah.
Had they won, if that was a 3-point shot and he'd won that at the buzzer, still kind of lame, I think, to do game one. Like there's a lot of basketball
Let
left.
me play devil's advocate, and literally this is the devil's advocate. Celebrating when you still have something to lose, which is to say the entire series.
Right,
like,
I think that's what I'm saying.
I think maybe makes it more like badass, because it's one thing to gloat and troll when you have nothing to lose. It's another thing to gloat and troll when like you have the risk
See you tonight,
of it coming back to bite you.
Well, first of all, I do have to say, can we talk about his form? He looks like the fucking poster for what to do when someone is actually choking.
If you go back and look at the Reggie Miller one, which I'll put it on screen at this moment if we have rights to it, but if not, I'll act it out for you. He's looking Spike Lee dead in the eyes, and his face is very cold and placid. Tyrese Haliburton looks like he's struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
He had a lot.
Like his face turned blue.
He looks like a chunk of hot dog is about to come out. After someone gives him the Heimlich. He's looking fucking like Pierce Brosnan at the end of Stoutfire.
Have y'all heard the on-court audio from this? Because he's just like saying like, no, please stop, no,
it's my gum.
No.
All right, so for purposes of comparison and scorekeeping, what's the pinnacle? What's the ideal celebration that exists? Let's say that actually happened, and then let's say you did this. You hit a game-winning shot or a game-tying shot to beat a buzzer. What do you think you would do?
Well, okay. Pinnacle related to this would actually be, just to throw it out there, flip the teams, make this a series clinching moment where the Knicks erase a huge deficit against the Pacers, and in Indiana, a Knicks player hits Reggie Miller with the choke back. I think that is where then you veer into like, for sure would be planned, would be premeditated to a certain degree, but the stars align in such a way where then it's just like, oh, they maybe stole it back.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Oh man, this is making me feel bad. You know what? I think my celebration would be in that moment, just the noble dab. I think I just hit him with just one dab.
It's never gone out of style.
It's never going out of style. I love it. It's really, and you got the whole full, arm movement, the whole thing. You got the whole body into it. You can kind of do it quick or like really kind of whoopah. They should not have a dunk contest. I think they should just let them hit uncontested threes and then
celebrate.
And then you get judged on the celebration. Would that be your celebration?
I mean, the Knicks were doing a part of that for this series.
Golly. Could you guys keep it down, please?
I would like to say my answers.
Yeah.
I think the coolest celebration, which really takes more wherewithal than any of these, and possibly some premeditation, is fugue state. Is to hit the game-winning shot, whatever. 20,000 people are either, cursing you or screaming your name or whatever, and you just stand there and let everyone mob you.
Yeah, didn't...
I would say Damian Lillard kind of hit that against... when he hit the game winner against the Rockets. He's hit a few. My favorite because I think it is utterly unpremeditated and just what someone thought of in the moment, is when Baron Davis dunked on Andrei Kirilenko in the Warriors Jazz series in 2007, and then just lifted up his shirt and showed his tummy.
Showed his belly. Yep. That's
Just
a good
belly
one.
for the crowd.
Yeah.
I don't know what he meant by it. I don't think he knows what he meant by it. Wasn't premeditated. It was just like, I just dunked. Everyone's excited. Here's my belly button. I think it's beautiful.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
What about fully removing the shirt a la Brandy Chastain?
I feel like that's tougher with a basketball jersey. It's just kind of like a clingy fabric. So you might get, you just like, that's a risky one.
That would be tough if you got
You
halfway
might get
through and
caught.
it got stuck. You just won a game, everyone's trying to celebrate, and you're like, hang on 1 second. I got to get this off. You
I need to untuck it real quick. I need to double check. Or, I'm mic'd up for this game, so let me...
I think the only way you could build on this, the way you would have been able to tell this was really premeditated, is if they built on the original. And not only is Tyrese doing the Reggie Miller choke, but he's got like teammates doing the Heimlich and stuff. Or like even they're like, all right, take this little morsel of prime rib and just hold it between your teeth. And if you hit the shot, you can go and spit it out. Like really lean into it.
Yeah, or you spit something out and then someone picks it up and it's a piece of paper that you unroll and says game 1 winner, Eastern Conference.
Pacers in 6.
Pacers.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of our new show, Reframe. All these names you're seeing on screen right now are people who subscribe to Secret Base's Patreon, which means they got to see some early unpublished versions of this new show. And I mean, so much other stuff that you won't find on YouTube. Why don't you join them?